Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host, T. is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanche Stradamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. Today's show is entitled The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman. Today's title is The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman. Now, the first sin, excuse me. Excuse me. Now, the first sin that was ever committed was a sin of disobedience. But if we look deeper into the first sin that was committed, the first sin was also dietary, because Adam and Eve were instructed to not eat from one tree. And this is very poignant in this discussion, because when we look at Eve, if you think about it, what did Eve have to worry about? What did Eve have to worry about? Nothing. Now, I want you to think about Adam going to sleep, Adam waking up, and he has a wife. And I want you to think about that wife. All she knows is Adam. Now, we've already discussed that God created woman for man. We've already discussed that the purpose of a relationship between a man and a woman is for a man, because God saw that Adam was alone. That's what motivated God to create woman. So the foundation of a relationship is so that a man won't be alone. The foundation of a woman's existence is to be a helpmate for the man. These are two fundamental principles in God's word that have been totally skipped over. So we've gone from that to women's liberation, equality, all of this stuff, when in actuality, man and women, or men and women, were never meant to be equal. It wouldn't make any sense. Woman was always meant to be submitted to man. That was her purpose. Adam is the one that said, I'm going to give this woman purpose. God said, it's not good for a man to be alone. Let me create him a wife, a woman in Eve. Adam said that this is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. A man's going to leave his mother and father and cleave to this woman, and the two shall become one flesh. Adam at that time didn't have a mother and father. Adam spoke prophetically about the woman. So I want you to think about, God said it's not good for a man to be alone, and he gave Adam Eve, and then Adam gave Eve her purpose. Well, I mean, God gave, she's a helpmate to man, but Adam is the one that said, this is how a relationship is going to function, is what I meant to say, where the two shall become one flesh. So that's the backdrop of the Eve died and the fall of the black woman. Now, the reason why, he said get some peppermint candy. Now, the reason why black women in particular are overweight is because they're rebelling. It is a sign of rebellion, because think about it. The first sin was dietary, and God said, don't eat the fruit. So now you see black women leading the nation in obesity, and it's because they are rebelling through diet. They are not going to the gym because of rebellion. They are not wearing their hair because of rebellion. Everything they're doing is rebellion, because when you get through the crust of it, you'll find that Black women want to be God. Much of the rhetoric around Black women is that they are gods. That is the rhetoric. They have the Eve gene, they're queens, they're goddesses. Like, all of the rhetoric is pointing to them being God, which means they're above a man. Now, I want to go to Genesis 3 real quick. Genesis 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now let's back up a little bit. Genesis verse 2, Genesis verse 1, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? He's asking her a question. Did God say that you can't eat of every tree of this garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So God told Adam and Eve, not only should they not eat the fruit, but they shouldn't even touch the fruit. So now we see that even touching the fruit was going to cause death. Forget eating the fruit, you shouldn't even touch the fruit. And the fruit, metaphorically now, is that the woman is above the man. That is the fruit. The Eve diet of consumption is she's eating something that's telling her that she is better than a man. If a woman even eats the fruit and the fruit says you're equal to a man eventually becomes better than a man, because a woman's going to say, well, if we're equal and I can give birth, then I'm better. If we're equal and I can do this, then I'm better. So equality always means better when it comes to men and women. So the serpent is talking to Eve, and she tells him that God said, not only should we not eat the fruit, but we should not even touch it, for we shall die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God does know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof. That is very important, because what made her see the fruit of that tree as attractive and enticing was the fact that it was going to make her like God. Before, the fruit didn't look too appealing, because even when she described it, she said the tree in the midst. It wasn't even something that she was even thinking about. But when he told her that it can make her like God, that's when Eve saw that fruit, and she saw that it was good, and she saw that it was pleasant. This is the Eve diet. The Eve diet is a consumption of believing that you are not only equal to a man, that you are not only better than a man, but that you are also like God. This is why it's very hard for women to read the Bible. If you want to knock a woman upside her head, just start quoting scriptures. You're going to see the demon come out. And it's sad to say, especially Black women. I read a study where it said that Black women go to church the most and that Black women pray the most. How is that possible if Black women are getting the worst results? I read a study and it said that black women pray the most and go to church the most. How is that possible if black women are getting the worst results? I'll tell you, because black women have the Eve diet. They're not going to church to get revelation on who God truly is. They're not going to church to be Christ-like. They're not praying to get a better understanding. They're doing all of that to find ways to be like God. This is the Eve diet. Let's continue. And the eyes, hold on. And when the woman saw that the tree was good, this is verse 6, for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Verse 7, and the eyes of both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now, I want you to think about when Adam ate the fruit, both of their eyes were opened. When Eve ate the fruit, nothing happened. So my question is, if Eve ate the fruit and nothing happened, why would she give the fruit to her husband? Think about this now. If Eve ate that fruit and nothing happened, then why would she turn around and give it to her husband? I'll tell you why. Because she knew she had done wrong, and she wanted him to have done wrong too. You see, in the beginning of this story of creation, we actually see the nature of a woman. And the nature of a woman is this: it is to destroy a weak man. That's her nature. Her nature is to rebel. Her nature is to destroy. Her nature is not to build. Her nature is not to do things based on character and principle. Her nature is emotionally driven, and it's emotionally driven towards being over a man. That's her nature. Now, the wise women check their nature. They spend a lifetime working on subduing their nature. 99.9% of women do not do this. Women have to either be forced to do this or they're allowed to run amok and destroy societies. But most women are not going to check their nature, because to check their nature, she's going to have to sit at home and be still and listen to God. Most women are not going to do it. I had one girl tell me that she is still, when she goes home. I said, "For how long?" She said, "About 30 minutes. Yeah. Not 30 minutes reading the Bible still. I'm talking about just 30 minutes being still. But let's continue. So we see that the nature of the woman is the Eve diet. That's her nature. What she's consuming is her nature. Now let's go to some videos that I have for the Eve diet.
About black women being obese. I hate it because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Now, I want you to think about what she's really saying. She's not just saying that I'm unaccountable. She's not just saying that, I like to wash down my neck bones with a pitcher of gravy. That's not what she's saying. She's saying that if the diet doesn't work for me like it does for white women, then I'm going to rebel against the diet and be obese. This is rebellion. She's saying, I don't want to do things in decency and order. I want to do it my way because I'm God. And if God is requiring me to put down that 10-piece all flat lemon pepper with fries and extra ranch and a sweet tea lemonade mix, if God is requiring me to put that down, then guess what? I don't want to serve that God. I want to serve the God that tells me I can eat what I want to eat and I can still be beautiful, fine, and all of this stuff, which is why most women are liberal. Most women vote liberally. Most women are democratic. Most women most women in the Western world are feminists. Most women lean towards the most destructive things in society. That's why you see now women's biggest fight is being able to kill their babies. Not getting jobs, not the wage gap, not none of that. The women's loudest voice and biggest fight is to abort their babies. Is to sacrifice their babies to Satan because it's rebellion against God, because they know that when they get pregnant, it's supposed to be in the guise of a family. That means submitted to a man. That means the man's the head of the household. That means God, man, all of those things. She says, no, I want to be God. So either she's going to be a single mother and dominate the house, or she's going to say, I'm going to give my child to Satan. And both of those things are not far off. Both of those things are not far off. Let's continue.
So I'm going to give you my quick take on.
Yes, the wage gap is, listen, the wage gap is capped. All of this stuff is capped. My point is that that's what they lean towards. That's what they fight. What they fight for are things that are destructive. They're all lies, but that's what they fight for.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my quick take on the war against black women and our weight, because I feel like it's getting out of hand. So here's the thing: quite as kept loud as it is, the fitness industry is struggling. With people being able to go get surgeries, the weight loss shot, there's all of these things that aesthetically someone can go ahead and hurry up and get to appease them aesthetically. And the issue is with the fitness industry is aesthetics is half of y'all's reasons why you're open, because you have been using envy to ploy your business. Aren't you envious of how skinny I am, how good I look? Come work out with me and I can show you how to get these results. And so now folks can go somewhere else and go get their results, and now you're struggling and you don't know how to actually address wellness and whole persons. So what do we do when we're struggling in our business? We revert back to what we know has been used for centuries, years and years. I won't say centuries, but for years and years, which is shame. And who is your target for this week or for this month or for however long is fat black women.
Now, again, you are rarely going to find a woman, especially a black woman, that's going to be accountable. She's not going to do it because she's already on the Eve diet. She's been eating her whole life. And this woman right here is trying to tell you that the fitness industry, the entire industry, was based on vanity. The entire industry was based on vanity. And so the only reason that you all are working out is because you want to look a certain way. So what she's saying is again, rebellion. I don't have to look that way. I can look the way I want to look. Now, how much you want to bet that the way she looks is accentuating sex, not health, not wellness, not whole person? The things that she's going to accentuate with the diet that she wants is going to accentuate sex, meaning big butt and breast. Heavy makeup on the face, which is still sex for attraction. The lips red, the eye, everything is geared towards sex. So she's trying to knock an industry for vanity and shame. But what is she putting out there? She's leading with the physical. You know why? Because it's easy to give a man your body than to give a man submission. It's easy to lay down with a man and get on your back than it is to be a good wife. This is why black women lead with their butt. This is why black women lead with their anatomy, because it's easier to just lay down and have sex than it is to actually be a good woman.
So you target black women and saying that we are the fattest and we lazy and all of these stereotypes that you can throw on us to shame us into coming into your gyms because you're struggling. But it's a lie. And it's a lie. It's so many women, so many black women that got the gyms filled up that's addressing all of their wellness to include self-care in holistic ways and all of the above. But you, Mr. or Mrs. Aesthetic, and the only thing that you have going for you is that you are skinny. You don't know how to keep your customer, nor do you know how to address your customer.
Now, what's funny is that black women have never been a part of the demographic to keep a gym functioning. When it comes to health and wellness and fitness, black women have never been a large consumer. Now, when it comes to hair care products, that's black women. But health, wellness, and fitness, no, ma'am. So she is telling something that's false. Black women have never gone to the gym in mass. You know why? Because black women for so long relied on genetics. But now those days are over with because you all have poor diets and the food is worse. See, what black women don't realize is that this so-called Eve gene can't fight against processed foods. It can't fight against GMOs. It can't fight against high fructose corn syrup. It can't. The Eve gene is powerless against all of those things. And all of those things are what black women love, because black women eat with their emotions. So the gym industry, what she wants to call the fitness industry, black women have never been a large partaker in that industry ever. That is an industry that is mostly Caucasian. If you go to any gym right now, unless it's a black-owned struggling gym, if it's a regular gym, 90% of the people in there are going to be white. I've been going to the gym for at least, let me say, 25 years. Outside of college, I've been going to the gym for 25 years, and I can tell you without a doubt, black women are the minority in every gym. Unless it is a black-owned gym, they are the minority. So black women have never been a large consumer in the health and fitness industry. Now, if you talk about fast food, you got me. You talk about weave and lashes and all that, your nails, you got me. But health, wellness, and fitness, absolutely not.
Hence the reason we have this newfound war on black women and our fat. Honey, hush. Everyone knows the BMI is not real and it's not addressed for black people. It's addressed to stereotype black people, especially
anything to not be accountable. Even Eve could have stood in accountability and said, you know what? I'm not going to give the fruit to my husband because I messed up. But because it's a woman's nature to not be accountable, she immediately gave that fruit to Adam. Just to see what happens. Now, she probably gave it to him to see if he was going to die, because she probably wanted to run off with the serpent. So she probably said, well, it didn't kill me. Let's see if it kills him. Eve probably gave the fruit to Adam to see if he was going to die, so she can run off with Satan.
Black women. Everybody knows our history, and I'm sorry that you don't. Everybody knows that it's not working. That shame is not working. It's not working.
Again, BMI is not racist. All you have to do is go look back in earlier years and see how smaller Black women were. So there's a reason why Black women are larger, consistently larger than men. The average weight of a Black woman is 186 to 189 pounds, and the average height is 5'4". If I add 10 pounds per inch, so that means at 5'5", let's just say she's one, let's say at 5'5", she's one, let's just say 190 at 5'5". At 5'6", she's 200. At 5'7", she's 210. At 5'8", she's 220. At 5'9", she's 230. At 5'10", she's 240. At 5'11", she's 250. At 6 feet, she's 260. At 6'1", she's 270. And at 6'2", she's 280. This is how large Black women are. If I do something easy and just say 10 pounds for each inch, that's how big Black women are. And so clearly we can agree that that would make them the largest people on the planet. So we have to ask ourselves what's going on. And I'm telling you that it's what they are consuming. It's rebellion. They are rebelling against God. There's no way you could see your stomach hanging out and then say, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna put shea butter on my stomach and I'm gonna go out and put them little beads, them waist beads around, which you can't even see half the waist beads because the stomach is covering up the front part of the waist beads. Now I'm putting the waist beads on. I ain't going to the gym. I'm not drinking any water. I'm going out and I'm showing this body off. You look at the average Black woman, they don't drink water. The average Black woman does not drink water. It's rebellion. It's rebellion.
Yourself, because you just subjected me to feeling like I'm not natural enough. I'm not protecting my hair enough because it's not to your standard of a twist out or afro. So if I choose to wear a wig, I'm less inferior, or if I choose to wear braids, I'm less inferior. So I think us as Black people, we all have to look inside ourselves and think, are we putting these projections on our Black women or our Black people? Are we not accepting them and making excuses?
Well, braids are a protective hairstyle, but the fake hair is not needed since you have natural hair. Because a lot of the braids and everything can cause cancer, traction alopecia.
Have you ever worn braids?
Not fake hair braids, no.
So how can you speak on something you've never experienced?
Because there's studies about it.
But have you experienced it for yourself? Can you walk into a room and say, hey, I've been here? You can.
But I don't have to if there's already research done on the topic.
So you depend on what other people have to say based on your own experiences.
Yeah, I depend on both actually, but I can use both. But you don't have
the experience of wearing fake hair, so how can you speak on something that you don't have any experience with? You can't walk into a room and say, I'm here, and haven't.
Again, this is rebellion. This is Eve. This is what happens if Adam had ate the fruit and he died. This is what you are left with. This is Black women. No accountability. Don't listen to sound reasoning. Nothing. It's all about what they feel at the moment. And the girl looking at her next to her like, what the heck is you talking about? I was with you for a second, but you just... So imagine a Black woman telling you that I'm still natural even though I have fake hair on my head. You think about that. That's like saying this apple is all natural, but the stem on it is plastic. This banana is all natural, but the peel is plastic. The inside is natural, but the peel is plastic. Fake nails, fake hair, fake lashes, but natural. Doesn't make any sense. But again, it's not meant to make sense. It's meant to rebel. It is rebellion. They are rebelling. They are rebelling against God's order and against God's structure. It is rebellion.
Authority that the Black women have, sisterhood thing, having similar values, similar behaviors, similar thought patterns, appear the same, talk the same, use the same language, even use the same cadence. Yeah, that's groupthink. It allows them to be accepted by each other. It's a cult-like mindset. And if you don't behave the way that they say to, then you're out of here. So I'm against antisocial culture. And at this point, we can see through the statistics that Black women are aligned with antisocial values in general. We see that through the incredibly high numbers that we don't see in any other races, and we don't see it in Black men. It is a particular group that is going in a destructive direction. And because we can see it showing up in the divorces, in the single parent houses, in the children that are damn falling apart, we know that there must be values that they are aligned with that are not aligned with progress, that are not aligned with pro-social values, that are not aligned with a higher way of being. They can't be, because it would not produce the type of results that we're seeing.
And so basically, what she says, what Miss Taylor Chandler is saying, is that the results that we see among Black women are the results of their culture and their values. The reason why it's so magnified in the Black community is because Black men are weak. So Black women run the Black community. Most Black men that you see out there, 95+%, they are prisoners of war at home. If they're with a Black woman, whether they're married to her, dating or whatever, they are prisoners of war. Because I guarantee he has not checked her on her rebellion. He hasn't done it. Because if he did check her, she wouldn't be with him. It's just that simple. All you got to do is just look at the average Black couple, listen to them speak, and ask yourself, when they go home, who runs the household, him or her? And you can see it's a stark difference. When a Black man is the leader of his house, and when he's not, you can tell. Most Black men are POWs. They're prisoners of war. We could even say prisoners of wrath. Or we could say prisoners of weaves, prisoners of wigs. Whatever W you want to pick. Black men are prisoners of war, prisoners of wrath, prisoners of weaves, and prisoners of wigs. It is a mentality that comes with all that fake hair. It is a mentality that comes with wearing those wigs. It's rebellion against God. And if she's rebelling against God, there is no way on this planet she's listening to a man. Most Black men live in households that are out of order because the Black woman runs the household. Why? Because she's the one that gave him the fruit. The same way Eve gave Adam the fruit and that he ate it like a dummy is the same way that Black men are eating the fruit that's given to them by Black women. And it starts with the Black woman being worshiped and praised when she's made the worst choices. The Black single mother gets celebrated. The Black single mother with multiple baby fathers gets pushed to the highest echelon of the Black community. So already the Black man has a warped sense of what a good woman is. He already has a warped value system because the woman he's looking up to had literally built a life on making poor choices. No honor, no character. Just black queen, black goddess, and let's go. Today's title is The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman, Part 1. There's going to be a Part 2. But let's continue.
Y'all see it. Yep. That's what it is. Best hands in the world. Y'all be playing with me. Come taste it yourself. See all that butter? Deliciousness. Y'all want to know the secret so bad about it? A little bit more. A little bit more. This bitch y'all asses out so bad, right? It make the people come down here and spend their money with me. So, like I said, baby, we'll do the rest off camera. But I see y'all other restaurants, y'all copping my shit. I call y'all back, get down here and spend that money with me.
Most black women don't know anything. I don't care if she has a degree. I don't care if she has a doctorate. I don't care what she has. Sat, Cal, Luma, Lottie, Sigma, Cum Laude, all of that. I don't care. Sorority, graduating highest of her class. She don't know anything. I know what I'm saying sounds bad, but when you encounter a black woman, assume she doesn't know anything, because I guarantee a minute into the conversation, she's going to prove you right. Now, this woman is pouring pounds of sugar on yams. I want you to think about this now. I want you to think about her pouring pounds of sugar on yams and then serving this to people that she claims that she cares about. Pounds of sugar on yams. I'm going to serve this to people. I'm going to overcharge them. And then I'm going to say that I love them. And if you don't like what I'm doing, then you hating on a black woman. This is the Eve diet. This is rebellion. Because deep down inside, she knows this is wrong. But she's going to give Adam the fruit anyway. Because she doesn't want to be doing wrong by herself. That's the motivation. All this stuff you see is black women trying to get everybody else to be in the wrong with them. Y'all saying, Blanche, you going too hard. Black women are not that bad. Let me ask you a question. What do you think would happen to your child if you told your child that they were the greatest thing ever? Your child comes home with an F. Baby, you're the greatest thing ever. Your child doesn't make the team. Baby, you're the greatest thing ever. Your child gets in trouble. Baby, you're the greatest thing ever. Your child is consistently missing the mark and failing. But you say, baby, you're the greatest thing ever. What do you think is going to happen to that child? What do you think happens when you praise a child for doing what's wrong. Neek said they're creating losers. Tierra said the child would be a heathen. K-Mac said they wouldn't do any better. Miss Jackson said they wouldn't care, they just be mediocre. Blast, the video that the mother that never cooks needs to be shown for this topic today. It fits perfectly. I have a video, but I don't know if I have it on here. I'm glad you brought that up because I had a video. I had a video of let me see if it's over here. Let me see. Because I definitely, here we go, right here.
If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna feed these kids. Earlier they ate chicken, cheese, and rice. Now it's time for snack. Come on, Jolly. What kind of ice cream you want?
Oreo mint with Tic Tac.
Kit Kat. Lunchable.
Yeah,
Roll ups.
yeah.
How many do you want?
One.
One. What kind of candy you have?
No.
No. This is late you all night.
Thank
See you
you.
later. You welcome, baby. Come on, Fred. That means don't try to work me no more tonight. What kind of ice cream you have?
Oreo.
Who else have Oreo?
Jane.
No, say they have Oreo.
Oh yeah, say it.
2 juice?
Yeah.
Which kind of candy you want?
Gushers.
Lunchable?
Yeah.
Candy?
Yeah. Reese.
Alright. See you later, my boy.
Thank you, Mom.
You welcome. Come on, Jane. What you have for? Kit Kat. Candy? Right here?
Yeah.
Don't tell you something. Don't eat all that stuff right behind each other.
I know, Mom.
2 juices?
Yeah. Yeah, gushers.
Gushers. Alright.
Thank you, Mom.
You welcome. Come on, Brand. Kit Kat. Ice cream. You have for fruit roll up.
Fruit roll up.
Lunchable. Which kids you have for?
The gray one.
2 juice?
Yeah, 2 juice. Thank you.
You welcome. Come on, Sadie. You want the can?
Yeah.
Lunchable.
No.
2 juice?
No.
1. Fruit roll up?
Yeah.
You don't want this? Somebody want to eat. Alright, you're welcome. Alright, y'all. Gonna take me a bath and take me a nap. This is caramel ice cream and juice.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
So, again, what you all just witnessed was rebellion. Now, no one can hold her accountable because she's already been told that she's a queen, she's a goddess, and she's wonderful. So you're not going to be able to tell her anything. Now, she just fed her children literal cancer, literal diabetes and cancer, but it doesn't matter because she's a queen and she's a goddess. So when I asked you this, the question earlier about what type of child would you have if you praised a child for doing wrong and failing, this is what you'll get. You'll get entitled, unruly. Somebody mentioned heathen. I think Tierra mentioned heathen. Somebody mentioned self-righteous. This is what you get. This is the average Black woman. You can't tell them anything. Because you got to remember, she gave you the fruit. So the fact that Eve gave Adam the fruit that already puts her above him. The fact that he took the fruit, that means he took something, that means he disobeyed God at the behest of the woman, makes her automatically above the man. That's why if you're with a woman that is unruly, if you're with a woman that is running the household, if you're with a woman that is saying that she's all of these wonderful things that are lies, then you're already in sin. You cannot serve God under the leadership of a woman. You can't do it. You cannot be a man, a husband, and your wife runs the household and you are not in violation with God's orders. You are going to be in sin. Because one day she's going to come to you and she's going to say, baby, how this look? Now, you know it looks hideous. She knows it looks hideous, but you know what you're going to do? You're going to lie. She's going to say, baby, how does this look? You know it looks atrocious. She knows it looks atrocious, but you're going to lie to her. It is impossible to be ruled over by a woman and not be in sin. So any man, this is most black men, are in sin because they are ruled over by a woman. Now, y'all watch this woman give those children cancer and diabetes. We don't know what years and years of processed foods even does to the mentality of a person. What are the mental drawbacks or side effects from all this processed foods? But yet and still, she's on social media with a bunch of people watching her, and I guarantee she has more supporters than detractors. Now, some people are going to say you crazy, but most people are going to say, girl, them your kids, where the man at? He ain't helping you feed them. If they want you to eat healthy, tell them to buy your groceries. The BMI is racist. The BMI is racist.
Back with another video. So today I'm doing some skin tightening on my arm, shrinking my fat cells, and blowing up my bum bum. I'm the waist shrinker, the ass popper, and the waist dropper.
Girl, what the fuck?
Back with another video. So today I'm doing some skin tightening on my arm, shrinking my fat cells, and blowing up my bum bum. I'm the waist shrinker, the ass popper, and the waist dropper.
Girl, what the fuck?
So, black woman, Eve diet. Now, instead of going to the gym and instead of eating better, she's going to put some fake hair on her head, buy all these contraptions looking like Frankenstein's monster. She got all kind of stuff hooked up, something to get rid of the fat on the arm, something to puff the butt up, something to pull the stomach back. She got all the anything and everything except going to the gym. Anything and everything except eating right. They'll go through great lengths to do any and everything except what is right when it comes to their health. Today's title is The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman, Part 1. Now, somebody in the comments said, black bodies are genetically different. Black bodies are genetically different. Now, I want you to think about what that statement really means. I want you to think about what does that mean when you say black bodies are genetically different. What you're saying is that black bodies are better than everybody else's body. When you say that your body is better, you're not going to take the same precautions when it comes to health, wellness, and fitness. So in other words, you'll say, my genetics are superior, so I can do what I want to do because I have superior genetics. Meanwhile, black people have the worst health in America. So my question is, what good is having great genetics if you're going to in turn poison your body? You see, great genetics only matter if you back it up with a healthy lifestyle, with a healthy diet, with being in shape. Black folks take every compliment and they run with it. So if there was a book that said Black people are the best, a Black person would never even open the book up. They would just go by the title, Black people are, and they would keep and they run. So Black people having superior genetics doesn't really matter if you're going to poison your body and poison your mind. Black people are poisoning their mind with communism, Marxism, and socialism, and even globalism. Then they're poisoning their physical body with what they eat and STDs. Then they're poisoning their spirit with liberation theology and a false doctrine that they are actually gods. So Black people, period, are poisoning themselves mind, body, and spirit. So that means that genetics at that point are irrelevant. You're doomed. You're doomed. This is why I don't give Black people compliments, because you look at it, you go back through history, the more compliments Black people got, the worse off they became. So when y'all start saying that Black is beautiful, instead of saying that this is what makes you beautiful, you got worse. When y'all started saying that Black people were gods, instead of saying we need to submit and follow God, y'all got worse. Instead of, when y'all start saying I'm Black and I'm proud, instead of y'all believing that pride is the beginning of sin, that pride comes before the fall, you got worse. This is why I don't compliment Black people, because it's had a negative effect. Because giving someone they haven't earned will always make them a horrible person. Giving someone something they haven't earned is what makes them a horrible person. This is why God has requirements for us. Even though we get to heaven by grace, God still has requirements. Even though God is saying you can only get to this place by grace, you still got to do this. Because God knows if I just give it to you, you don't work for it or earn it, you're going to be a horrible person. It's like somebody saying, I'm chosen and I'm going to heaven regardless. I'm chosen by God and I'm going to heaven regardless. They don't have to be a good person. They don't have to be a good person. I'm already going to heaven. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do is that when you get to heaven, God says, I don't know you. Anyway, my point is that complimenting Black people and complimenting Black women has had the worst effect of all, because you've given people something they did not earn, and it has made them horrible. This is why Black culture is so horrible, because it's based on lies. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Thick be having the girls in a chokehold. They be so concerned with trying to remain thick that they'll keep all of the other bad stuff that go along with it. Instead of getting in the gym and losing the arms, losing the back fat, losing the stomach, losing all of the stuff that makes them just overall big, they more concerned with whether or not they don't lose their butt. And again, this may not even be a good shaped butt. This might be some big sloppy squared butt, but they just so concerned with losing that they won't get in the gym. They ask you stuff like, well, if I do too much cardio, is it gonna make me lose my butt? It ain't much of a butt back there, all right? It's just a big mess back there. But that be their main concern about whether or not they're gonna lose that. And it be like, y'all done got so set on trying to preserve this perception of being thick that you're forgetting that when you take pictures, you're putting your purse in front of your stomach because you know your stomach big, right? But instead of fixing that issue so that you can be more comfortable, you more concerned about trying to keep that butt, right? And it all does.
And like I said earlier, it's all sexual. This is what black women are hanging their hat on: sexuality, sexual. They're focusing on things that they believe men find attractive. What I find funny is that black men have been complaining about black women's attitudes since I've been alive. Black men haven't complained about the diets, the working out, the weight, the hair. Black men have not complained about none of that stuff. Black men have complained about the attitude of black women. And you know what's crazy? The one thing that black women can fix, the one thing that is free for them to do, the one thing that doesn't require them to sweat or be tired, the one thing they can fix with the least amount of resistance is their attitude. And guess what? They won't do it. You know why they won't do it? Because they're rebelling. It's rebellion. They're rebelling against God. So they're saying, I'm not going to fix the one thing that can land me a decent man. Now listen, black women, you can get a man. You could even get married. But the question is it going to be fruitful? The question is, are you going to be successful? The answer is no. Because any man that takes you all at face value, he doesn't know anything and he's a wimp. He's a simp. He's a cuck. He's a beta. Any man taking you all at face value is not a real man. Because a real man comes to the equation and he's going to set a standard. He's going to set a standard. X plus Y equals Z. He's going to come in and set a standard.
Does go back down to male validation. Men have a lot to do with why women are so obsessed with wanting to be thick, right? Whether, regardless of what women tell you, that they don't do nothing for men, everything is for them, they want to be thick for them. No, you want to be thick because you know that that's what you hear men say that they like. You know how we know this? Because like I said, you know that you're uncomfortable with a lot of different things on your body, but you so scared to lose that one thing that men praise you about that you don't even want to get in the gym to change nothing else. You so scared that if you lose that one thing, that's the thing that men are drawn to you about, that they won't want you no more. That's what you really be concerned about. When you saying that you don't want to go to the gym and lose them curves, you in your mind, that's the best thing you think you got to offer.
And this is the truth about the matter. The truth of the matter is that these black women, they know. They know that they're not desired as a wife. They know this. So what they're going to try to do is manipulate the system. They're going to try to, and listen, fellas, all women have a plan B, right? They got a guy that they say, if I can't get the guy, because their first choice is the guy they need. That's their subconscious, natural first choice. But their nature is to encounter that guy and try to conquer him, because she knows that he has the ability to rule over her. So when she meets that guy, she's going to be very resistant to what he's trying to teach her. This is in the woman's nature, but it's exacerbated in the black community because the black community It's ran by black women. So she knows that this is the guy I need right here. Am I willing to change, though, to accommodate that guy? No, because my pride is too strong. I'm not humble. Why should I have to change myself for him? Who is he? Even though I know I need him, even though I want him, I'm not going to do it because of my pride. So then the next option is to land a man through deception and through trickery. Because the God-fearing righteous man, you're not going to be able to get him with your looks. So that means that most black women are focusing on their looks, which is telling the world, we don't want the God-fearing righteous man. We want the beta, we want the simp, we want the cuck, we want the trick. That's what we want. And so what she's saying is right. If she's not willing to change who she is as a woman, to be a God-fearing woman, to be a wife, then what she's saying is, all I can really offer you is my body. And the irony of black women only offering their bodies, but most of their bodies are out of shape and overweight. You would think that if all you're offering is the physical, that your physical would be the best thing in the world, but it's not. In these past 10 years, I have seen some of the worst black bodies I've ever seen in my life. When I was coming up, it was rare to see a black woman with just a horrible shape. That was not the norm. It wasn't the norm. Now, these past 10 years, I've seen some shapes on black women that I didn't even think were possible. How are you knock-kneed, pigeon-toed, no butt, with a gut, wide? I'm like, how is this body isn't even physically possible without being created in a lab? And these bodies are bad earlier. And the bodies are bad earlier. I'm seeing a lot more younger women with bad bodies. You shouldn't be 22 years old with a gut. I'm sorry. At 22 years old, your metabolism should keep you slim. Without going to the gym, none of that. The fact that you're 22, you should be slim. The fact that y'all are in your 20s and out of shape is insane.
Is whatever is back there, and you scared, God forbid, you lose that, there won't be anything else that the men are attracted to on you, because that's the thing that they're drawn to. That's the thing that they always talking about when it comes to you. Like me right now, with me being on my weight loss journey, I'm highly offended anytime a man come telling me that he think that I'm good where I'm at and I don't need to lose no more weight. Who do you think you is? Right? You ain't about to keep me big just because you want to go around talking about thick. I don't want to be thick. I want to be athletically built. I want to be fit. All right? I don't care about that trying to be thick stuff.
You see what she said? This is a wise woman right here. She knows that a good man is going to set a standard. She knows this. She said when a man comes and tells her, think about it, she knows. When a man comes and says, you are good the way you are, you got two reactions to that. The first reaction to is, good, I ain't got to change nothing. I got him. Eve. The second reaction is, no, I reject that. I'm offended by that. I know I got to work on myself. I know I got to be better. And the fact that you don't want me to be better, I don't want to be with you. Any man that truly cares about a woman, he is going to correct. There's a misconception about correction being punishment. Correction is not punishment. If a man cares about you, he is going to correct you. As a woman, you have to be okay with constantly being corrected because you've been out in the world like a ravenous beast. You've been doing it your way for multiple years, and I can guarantee you've been doing it wrong. So you have to be okay with being corrected constantly because it's not punishment. It's that the man can see you and say, you know what? I can get her to this point. You see, when women look at a man where they can get the man to, it ain't the same as when a man is doing it for a woman. A woman is saying, I can get this man to visually be a presentation that I want. When the man does, he's talking about changing the inside of the woman. So I commend her for saying, I got offended by that. How dare you say I'm good the way I am, knowing I know I got to be better.
But yeah, it's a slippery slope. That whole trying to preserve curves, it keeps you from being the best version of yourself because you're too focused on stuff you don't need to be focused on. You need to be overall focused on your body being proportionate and everything being fit, firm, and put together. But you more concerned, you rather stay sloppy and just have this big sloppy butt.
Is that denied 1987? Anyway, she has good content. I think that's denied 1987. I think that's her. But she has good content. She actually has some good takes on things that are going on. And again, that type of woman would benefit greatly from a good man. She will. Like, all she's really missing now is a good man, and she's gonna take off because the things that she don't understand right now, the man's gonna fill in the gaps. And women have to be okay with that. When it comes to wisdom, when it comes to understanding, the man's gonna have that. You see, the man, when God is talking to a man, when God's talking to a man, God is giving a man a well-rounded understanding about what is going on. That is not how women get understanding from God. Women get understanding from God through the man. The man helps her understand this is how God operates, this is how God thinks. Again, relationships were not created. Relationships were not created for women. Relationships were created for men. God said that it's not good for man to be alone. That was his motivation for a woman. So a woman's foundation, her purpose is to be a helpmate for a man. Her sole existence on this planet is for a man. Now, y'all can say that's a sexist, that's misogynist, that's wrong, but I guarantee when you go out on that road and pick a man, you're going to pick a beta, simp, cuck, wimp. You are not going to pick a righteous man. Because there's no way as a woman you can encounter a righteous man and not think this is where I'm supposed to be. Even if you are single, even if you're single, you should have a man around you that has some wisdom or some sense. If it's not your father or uncle, some type of man, preferably older, or a man that don't want you, because y'all need men that don't want y'all. That's what y'all need. Y'all need to talk to men that don't want you all so they can tell you the truth. The problem is these men want to sleep with you, so they're going to lie to you. So y'all done heard lies your whole life. You think it's truth. It's not true. Talk to a guy that don't want you, and I guarantee it's be a different conversation. The sole purpose of a woman, her sole purpose of creation, is for her to be for a man. Adam is the one that said, she is going to be flesh, she's flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. A man's going to leave his mother and father. He's going to cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. That's what Adam said. So what the righteous man is going to do, he's going to honor the fact that you were created for him. So he's not going to dominate you. He's not going to abuse you. He's not going to terrorize you, oh simple-minded woman. What he's going to do is he's going to actually love you. He's going to actually want you to be your best. The world has told you all that Bible has you to be subject to a man, but you should want to be subject to a righteous man. But the problem with you all is that you all give your mind and your body and your spirit to Pookie and Ray Ray. Because to Pookie and Ray Ray, he's not going to set a standard. He's not going to ask you to change. So you'll give him your womb. You'll have children with him. You'll give him your mind. You'll give him your body. You'll give him your spirit. You'll give it to him. You'll give him everything because he won't set a standard. If a woman has been out here in this world, she's already consumed the Eve diet. She's already had some tenets of feminism. She's already rebellious. These are all things that's already, she don't even know. Half of the time, they don't even know they even got it because it's so normal. It's so normal to walk out there and women get praised for utter foolishness. So again, I like that stimulated students. He said, not even that. Look at the pattern in the Bible. Naming someone shows you have rulership over them. God named Adam. Adam named everything else. Yep, he named Eve too. Amen. 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 So again, and the main problem is that we have to have a earn it mentality. We have to believe, we have to see that we are not where God wants us to be always. We cannot lose that spirit of wanting to do better, of wanting to be better. We should never be complacent. So the problem again is that Black women have been tricked and lulled into complacency because they're being told that they're great and wonderful for just being Black women, and that is an abomination. That's blasphemy. You are great because you've done something. In the eyes of God, God loves everybody. The Bible says that we are wonderfully and fearfully made. That's God. I'm talking about what are you going to be to a man? How are you going to serve God if you're not serving the man? How are you going to submit to? It's impossible. You ever notice when a woman reads the Bible, she never walks away from that Bible and says, you know what? I need to go find me a man to submit to. Isn't that ironic? Isn't it ironic that when a woman reads the Bible, she always want to go preach? How is that when a woman is reading the Bible alone, it never tells her to go find a man to submit to? The Bible never motivates women to do that. The Bible, when they read the Bible, they always read the Bible and it says, I need to go run my mouth. They never read that Bible and they say, I need to go sit down and be still somewhere. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? That they read the Bible and it never says, you know what? I need to go submit to a man. They always read the Bible and it tells them to go run their mouth. You know why? Because even the way they're reading the Bible is still from the Eve spirit. Thank you, who said that? Free Throw said that. Even when they're reading the Bible, it's with the Eve spirit. Even when they're praying to God, it's with the Eve spirit. The sole purpose of a woman is to be a helpmate for the man. The man, in turn, honors that by loving the woman. But most women got too much pride. They got too much feminine. You can't tell them nothing because they're gods. You know why? Because that's her nature. It is in a woman's nature to want to be like God. That's her nature. That's what made Eve want to bite the fruit. God told her that if you eat the fruit or touch it, you're going to die. Satan told her, if you eat the fruit, you're going to be like God. That's what made her want to eat the fruit. That is the nature of a woman. And only a small percentage of women fight against that nature. Only a small percentage of women subdue that nature. Most women, it either has to be by force or a major life calamity. It got to be a couple of major life calamities to make her see, you know what? I need to sit down somewhere and be quiet and submit. Otherwise, she ain't going to do it. Title of today is The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman. I'll give you an example of the mind of a black woman. I'll give you an example.
Asked the people for $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life.
So hit that Cash App. Let me see who on the Cash App. Where them donations at? Where them donations at? Hit the Cash App.
Where them Cash Apps at, y'all? Ain't nobody came through yet. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Maybe something wrong with the Cash App, because I know y'all gonna send me something. With a Cash App. Okay, there we go. Sister Jenny, $21. Dang. Okay, thank you, Sister Jenny. That might have been your last dollar.
The credit card, go make a donation. I got.
Now, I want you to think about who Umar Johnson's #1 supporters are. Who do you think follows Umar Johnson the most? Who do you all think is Umar Johnson's #1 contributor? Thank you, Tierra. Black women. I guarantee if you look at all of his donations throughout his career, if you look at all of his followers, I guarantee the overwhelming large amount of them are black women. You know why? Because he doesn't hold them to a standard. So he can say the most craziest thing, but as long as he says that you all are gods and goddesses and you all are Mother Earth and you're queens, it don't matter. You can finna get that money. This is the most black women support Umar Johnson. I've talked to black women I thought had some sense, and they still listen to Umar Johnson. If you look at who black women follow in mass, I guarantee it's not one person that's righteous. Most eligible black voters, black women voters, voted for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, out of any candidate in history, had the most dirt on her exposed to the masses. Kamala Harris. Kamala had the most truth of any candidate that was shared with the masses. So when Kamala was running, there was no secret about who she was. And do you know who voted for her the most out of any group? Who Kamala Harris was shown to the world more than any other candidate. And who voted for Kamala at 95+%? Black women. So what I'm telling you is that I don't care what they tell you. All you got to do is just look at who black women follow. Big Mike got on stage and said, if your husband or your household doesn't want to vote for Kamala, then tear the household up. Big Mike got on stage and said, if your husband or household does not want to vote for Kamala Harris, then tear the household up. So what I'm telling you is that the indicators of the Eve diet are the obesity rates, are the STD rates, are the single motherhood rates, are the low marriage rates, are the debt rates, but also who they follow and listen to. So if a woman is listening to Umar Johnson, there is no way she's going to listen to me. She might hear me, but she's not going to listen to me. There's no way a woman can be in church listening to Jamal Bryant, and New Birth Church is filled with mostly Black women. Most churches are filled with mostly Black women. There's no way a woman is going to listen and follow Jamal Bryant and then come outside of that church and listen to me. I'm going to sound crazy to her.
Got to get this electric on in the high school. I know this is going to cost us at least $100,000 to get this electric done. It's going to cost us some money, brothers and sisters. Make sure you donate.
Brothers and sisters, give me your grit money, give me your weave money, give me your perm money, your Jordan money, your Alizé money, your 40-ounce money. We need the money, brothers and sisters. How about you hit the Cash App? They broke the windows, so we got to pay. Brothers and sisters, hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you.
Now, I want you to think about, on a subconscious level, why Umar Johnson is so appealing to Black women. And he's appealing because guess what? He's non-threatening. He's not setting a standard, and he's begging her for money. So that automatically puts her above him. Subconsciously, she's seeing Umar Johnson as beneath her. This is why Black women support betas. This is why Black women were trying to signing petitions to get Kevin Samuels off of social media, but they were celebrating Derrick Jackson. This is why Black women were sending death threats to Ayanna Fix My Life, but they were celebrating Derrick Jackson and any other Black female relationship person that was spitting nonsense and lies. Subconsciously, Umar makes them feel comfortable because he needs me. He's beneath me. He's begging me for money. Let me give him $20.
Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
So again,
be having the girls in a chokehold.
So again, to my fellas out there, many of you all are going to know, if you are trying to find a wife, it is not impossible, because with God, with Christ, all things are possible. However, it is going to be very, very difficult. Now, the more you expand outside of the community, it will be a little easier. But if you're talking about just staying in the Black community, you're going to need Tom Cruise, because it's almost going to be mission impossible. Not saying it's going to be impossible, but you might have to call up Tom Cruise and say, hey, how did you complete that one mission? You know, yeah. Because Black women run the Black community. So when you come to the average Black woman, she's already looking down on you. She's already, whether she knows it or not, whether she's already saying, I'm above you. Already. So it's not going to be impossible, but you may have to call up Tom Cruise, because Black women have a large consumption of the Eve diet. And so, just like I tell any woman, do not get with a man that you cannot submit to. And I would tell any man this same thing. Do not get with a woman that is not going to submit to you. Don't do it. because her mission is going to be to destroy you because she knows you don't qualify. The fact that you get with her and you're not setting a standard, she's going to destroy you. That's a woman's nature. A woman's nature is to come in to try to rule over you. If she's unsuccessful, she will either leave or she will submit. But if she is allowed to rule over you, she is going to destroy you. That's her nature. What do you think? It's a pride of lions. What do you think would happen if somebody came to the pride, another animal, and tried to steal the cubs? And the lion, leader of the pack, he didn't do anything. He allowed a bunch of hyenas to come in and steal the cubs. What do you think those lionesses would do to that lion? They would kill him. They would kill him. Neek said earlier, getting with a weak man is a sin. I agree with her. I agree with her. Because if a woman is ruling over you as a man, you're already in sin. And if you're in sin, then she's going to be in sin too. So I agree. Getting with a weak man is sin. Let's continue though. And I hope y'all are, not getting offended, but,
Men who date women outside of their race, white women, Latino women, Asian women, Hispanic women, Indian women, all of the women's. Okay? I'm telling you something, and I hope I speak on behalf of all black women when I say this, okay? This might be the nicest thing a black woman has ever said to you, so I want you to listen up. Open your ears, okay, brother? Do you hear me, Jamal? Marcus, are you listening? Terrence, I need you to the front. Somebody go get Kevin. Please go get him. All right? You're free to go. You're free. You're released from the shackles of the melanin.
I hate to say this because she is such a beautiful young woman, but sweetheart, nobody cares. Why are you acting like black men need your permission in order to date somebody else? By the way, all black men who have dated Caucasian, Mexican, Indian, even Turkish women, they have never looked back. And you want to know something else? All these women who have once went black, they never went back. So either way, it's a win-win situation for them. And for you, unfortunately, nobody cares. Sorry.
I played that video because the black woman is telling black men that they're free to go, which highlights the mentality of them believing they are over black men. This is why when a black woman gets with a white dude, it's celebrated. When a black man gets with a white woman, it's condemned. And the reason is because black women are saying, we determine where you can be happy and sad at. So in other words, if you're going to find happiness outside of the black community, you can't go. This young lady on this, her name is Sweray Yatu the B. I don't know what this is. Swear you to the beat. I don't know, but that's her name. She has some good content too, though. She has some good content. But black women will say, we determine your happiness and your sadness. So if you're going to find happiness outside of the black community, you can't go. And if you're in the black community and we deem you undateable, undesirable, lame, then you got to suffer. But what you can do is you cannot go outside of your race. And on top of that, you can't even hold us accountable at all either. I told you all that most black men are prisoners of war. They POWs, prisoners of war, prisoners of wrath, prisoners of wigs, prisoners of weaves. Most black men are prisoners of war. Let's continue.
Are the group of women failing the most?
They got that track behind it. I forgot. They got that track behind it. I forgot.
Straight. When other races tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle because they're more prone to health problems, y'all tell them to stay out of black folks' business. Okay. When black men get on here and tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to stay out of women's business. Okay. When black women get on here to tell other black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to mind their business. Y'all say we're the least supported group in America, but when somebody gives y'all sound advice, y'all would rather hold on to 400 years of slavery rather than taking accountability for your present day actions. Okay.
I'm playing one more time.
Let me get this straight. When other races tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle because they're more prone to health problems, y'all tell them to stay out of black folks' business. Okay. When black men get on here and tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to stay out of women's business. Okay. When black women get on here to tell other black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to mind their business. Y'all say we're the least supported group in America, but when somebody gives y'all sound advice, y'all would rather hold on to 400 years of slavery rather than taking accountability for your present day actions. Okay.
Now, notice the young lady speaking right here. I want you to notice her. What do you notice about her? What do you notice? Natural hair. I don't see them lashes. I don't see a whole bunch of makeup. Got a regular t-shirt on. She ain't got showing her body. She ain't leading with sex. Just a natural, nice, attractive young lady. But it's coinciding with what she's saying out of her mouth. Just observation. Just observation.
It's around the building, all the way to the dumpster, all the way to the street.
Now, this guy, this gay guy, he opened this new hair gallery in Houston. And I just want to show you the response to this hair gallery. Now they'll tell you, Blanche, most black women, and look what I'm telling you, in this sea of black women, right here, Moses couldn't even part this sea of black women right here. But in this sea of black women right here, it's not just all ratchets, and no, it's all walks of black women in this line. It's professional, it's ratchet, it's married, it's baby mama, it's all of them. So I keep telling you all, it's most black women, not some, it's most black women consume the Eve diet. Most black women, not some, not a few, most. When they tell you not all black women, put it to the test. I bet you won't put it to the test. I bet you won't put it to the test. Look at this. Think about what you've seen black women come together for. Think about what you have seen black women in large numbers come together for. Think about it. What has it been? In the past, let's say 8 to 9 months, what have you seen black women rally together for in large numbers? Alfonso said the weave is worshipped more than ball. Goodness. Alfonso said the weave is worshipped more than ball. But my question is, what have you all seen Black women rally in mass numbers for? I'll tell you, for Kamala Harris, for abortion, for concerts, and for grand openings of weave and wig stores. I'm gonna say it again. Kamala Harris, abortion, weaves and wig stores, and some type of entertainment, some type of concert. So we see large masses of Black women coming together only for reasons that are ungodly. So ask yourselves a question: if the number one demographic percentage-wise is Black women going to church, then if the pattern of Black women is to support things that are destructive, then why are they going to church? That would mean that the pastor in the church is telling them something to get them to keep coming back to church. What is he telling them? Is he holding them accountable? He couldn't be, because they wouldn't go. What is the pastor telling Black women that has them continuing to go to church? What is the pastor telling Black women that has them lining up in by the thousands for a new wig and weave shop, and then also leaving here and the next day going to church in mass? The pastor has to be saying something that's aligning with something that Kamala Harris is saying, something that the weaves and the wigs are saying, something that abortion is saying, something that the concerts are saying. The pastor has to be in line to get that much compliance from Black women. So what is the pastor saying? I'll tell you what he's saying. He's saying the same thing that Satan said. If you eat the fruit, you can be like God. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Jesse Lee Peterson says that.
That was the wrong one. I wonder what that video was. I couldn't see it.
The grand opening. The ribbon cutting is at 8 a.m. Come on, follow me. Y'all already see all the wigs, but stay tuned. Y'all see all these gifts? We got 400 bundles we giving away. It ain't ending. When I say 400 bundles, everybody get a bundle. You get a bundle. All these gifts, I'm giving them away to all my friends. So y'all better be here at 8 a.m. I'm not playing. Keep following me. Come on. Y'all see
it. This the guy that opened up the Galleria. This the guy that opened up that Galleria in Houston.
Tomorrow, the grand opening. The ribbon cutting is at 8 a.m. Come on, follow me. Y'all already see all the wigs, but stay tuned. Y'all see all these gifts? We got 400 bundles we giving away. It ain't ending. When I say 400 bundles, everybody get a bundle. You get a bundle. All these gifts, I'm giving them away to all my friends. So y'all better be here at 8 a.m. I'm not playing. Keep following me. Come on. Y'all see it.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Now this man is in front of it. Look at this. Black women in the thousands, waiting to get a weave, a bundle tossed to them. Waiting to get a bundle tossed to them. And this is not just ratchet black women in the crowd. This is all walks of black women in this crowd. The notion that it's just some black women is a lie. It's most black women. But I want you to see this man throwing out bundles, and black women are down there begging for some weave. Not begging. Hold up. You ain't seen black women pray like this to God for a husband. You ain't seen black women praying like this for their eyes to be opened up. Lord, show me the truth. You ain't seen black women do this for nothing spiritual when it comes to the word of God. But you see black women doing this outside of the Houston Hair Gallery, or whatever it's called, the Hair Galleria Beauty Supply. You see black women in the thousands begging for bundles. I need to write a book called Begging for Bundles, about the fall of the black woman. And this is what most of these black women in here, they got a man. There's some man dealing with them. I told you all that most black men are prisoners of war. They are POWs. They are prisoners of war. They are prisoners of wrath. They are prisoners of weave. They are prisoners of wigs. Most black men are prisoners because they are dating or married to a black woman who has the Eve spirit. Who has the Eve spirit.
Two. Why wouldn't I come to Dubai? She was like, the scene tonight is going to be worse. And I was like, other people are doing it? And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, what that got to do with me? If they do what they do, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Girl, I'm trying to go to Dubai. Every time I go to Dubai, I'm like, every time we come back, I get my hair done. So I'm not really thinking what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, I want to go to Dubai. Like,
right.
She didn't tell me what she do. Girl, we are about to get into the private jet. And she was like, I got to be honest with you. She was like, I get on and pissed on for like 20, 30K by different men. And different men do it at one time. Yeah. And I was like, you dirty. I was like, you dirty. Not only is you bringing me to some weird ass where mother getting pissed on.
Right.
You wouldn't even have the audacity to tell me that this whole time that I've been hugging you, kissing you on the cheek, we probably been sharing the same spoons. And you out here getting shit on. Like, could you imagine what that is for me at 18 to hear that? I was like, what do you mean you get pissed on? She was like, I got to be honest with you because you keep bothering me because you want to be so nosy and you want to know what the I'm doing in Dubai. She was like, I get shitted on by about 10 men. Not only do we get shitted on, they have us open our mouths.
In that moment, did you get on the private jet?
Are you crazy? I pissed on myself. I said, yo, give me the bathroom. We got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe, I could have sworn like we shared a straw here and there. That's all I was thinking about. That's all I was thinking about. I don't know why that was the first thing. I was like, you dirty, you didn't. We shared food before.
Right. That's crazy.
That's when I realized what they do. And I stopped talking to her after that.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
No, because birds of a feather flock together, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Not only is you a stripper, there's nothing wrong with being a stripper.
Right.
Because I know I have actually stripper friends that actually don't do that stuff.
Sure.
They
right.
actually stripping to pay for their school.
Right.
So, but not only that, but like.
Cap, Cap. I'm calling Cap on the stripper. Cap. Stop. Cap.
Like, then you getting multiple pissing on you. You let it, and she explained it like fat dudes would open their and shit. Sometimes
Oh my
diarrhea.
God.
Diarrhea. You're letting your mouth.
I can't right now.
You should have had them put chains on you and had you on your knees and do some hard work or something. You letting them.
That's no.
And then she would say it would be like a row of them, and it would be all of them doing it. It was like she explained it to me, and that's why she would be on private jets. Like I said, the lifestyle you see,
right?
There's a price.
I just found out so much from you. I learned so much today from you.
Oh, girl, I'm like a girl. I got stories for days.
I have learned so much, and I have questioned humanity.
Now,
what moment did you?
I think the greatest gift. Somebody think this is not Meg Thee Stallion, you all. I don't know who this girl is. It's not Meg Thee Stallion, though. It's not Meg. But I think the greatest gift that a guy can get is to actually know what women are capable of. Much of the naivety that men have when it comes to women has come from programming and propaganda and just lies. Now, all women obviously are not going to go to Dubai and let somebody defecate and urinate in their mouth. But you need to know that women will do it. Women are capable. You know, they love telling you that men are capable of doing all these bad things, but they never want to venture to the other side of that coin and let you know that women are as well. There are studies out that say that women are more likely, if women are in a position of power, they are more likely to abuse than men. If women are in a position of power, they are more likely to abuse than men. Women are 3 times more likely to kill for love. Women are more likely to abuse children. Like women, when they have a position of power or some kind of authority, they abuse more based on studies. Not all women, but a man needs to know what a woman is capable of so he doesn't have blinders on. You need to know that this woman potentially could be this or could do this or she could lie. You need to know that. So that you can properly vet the woman. But these Dubai stories, in my opinion, are necessary so that you know that no, Black women will go over there and they will do it. And there's some B-list and C-list Black actresses that go to Dubai and do the same thing. I saw Tyrese over there one time with a pink little Muslim outfit on. He probably was selling himself. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying. Black people are capable of what you see the worst people do. Neek said most women are Cassie. They just do it for broke men. They don't have access to the men of caliber. Right. Cassie wasn't a victim. And I said that and I got crucified. But Cassie wasn't a victim. She wasn't. I said because if he wasn't paying, she wouldn't have stayed. And then come to find out, she was initiating freak offs and everything, and so Nikki said Jezebel's an example of a godless woman, is an example of what a godless woman would do in a position of power. It's true. Because most of the time, if she has authority or power over someone or something, she's going. I encourage you all to go watch. There's an episode of Black Mirror this season, and I kind of want to even go over the episode if I could do it, but there's an episode of Black Mirror this last season. I just want to get the name of it for you so you guys can watch it. It's called Black Noir. No, I'm sorry. Bet Noir. Not Black Noir, Bet Noir. Bete. It might be pronounced Bete Noir or Bet Noir. But that episode, it really is it's a very good episode. I encourage you all to watch it. It's called Bete Noir. It's very good. It's a very good episode. Let's continue. But just a brief overview before I continue. I got a few more minutes. That Eve saw that the fruit was good after Satan told her that it can make her like God. So after Satan told her that the fruit will make her like God, then the fruit became appealing to her, and then she ate it. When she ate the fruit, nothing happened, and she gave it to Adam. She gave it to Adam to get him on the hook with her, meaning that now we're both in trouble, or B, she gave it to him to see if it was going to either make him like God or kill him. Either way, it was unrighteous. And today, what the Eve diet is in a nutshell, it's rebellion against God. It's saying, I want to be like God, to be above God. That is the Eve diet. This is what the majority of Black women are consuming. We are better than men. We are like gods. We are better than God. That's what it eventually goes to. This is why if you want to get a Black woman, if you want to see her demons, all you got to do is bring that Bible up, and the truth is going to come out. That Bible is going to reveal everything. She is going to rebel, buck, fight, kick, scratch, and scream when you go to God's word. I'm telling you, she is not going to accept it, because her goal is to not learn from God. Her goal is to not submit to God. Her goal is to not to follow Christ. Her goal is to be above God. That's her goal. And that's what the Eve diet does. That's what it is. It's rebellion against God. But let's continue.
He's on the scale.
Remember I mentioned those weights earlier? Mentioned those weights earlier? All you got to do is add 10 pounds from the average 5'4", 187. 5'4", 187, and you add 10 pounds from there, and that's the size of Black women. The lightest woman that we've seen is 206. The lightest woman we saw was 206.
Black women, especially those of direct African descent, have the widest range of genetic traits, skin tones, eye colors, hair textures, and even disease resistance. This genetic diversity is unmatched anywhere else on Earth. But there's a scientific reason behind this: the Eve gene. Scientists like to call her mitochondrial Eve. This isn't just a theory, it's proven through genetics. Unlike regular DNA, which is a mix of both parents, mitochondrial DNA is passed only from mother to child, unchanged, except for rare mutations. This means that every human being carries a trace of their first mother, an African woman. From the deepest mahogany to golden honey to even albino skin, Black women's melanin comes in every shade. Some are born with freckles, others with striking undertones that shimmer in the sun.
So now, this whole Eve gene theory, out of Africa theory, is based on Lucy. So Lucy was not a human being. Lucy was a hominoid, ape-looking thing. So this whole Black women Eve gene thing they're talking about is linked to Lucy. I want to be clear on this. It's linked to Lucy, a hominoid, something that wasn't even human, an ape. So when this young lady is talking about Eve genes and Lucy and genetics and all this stuff, what is she really saying? She's saying that Black women are superior to all. The crux of her message is that Black women are superior to all. So if Black women are superior to all, then what does that make her? That makes her a god. This rhetoric sounds flattering, but it's dangerous because it's put almost irreversible damage in Black women, because it has Black women believing that they are gods. And in actuality, most of them are just being used by Satan. Let's continue.
While brown eyes is most common, Black women can naturally have hazel, green, gray, and blue eyes. These rare colors show up due to genetic variations that have been passed down for thousands of years. Hair. No one has more variety than us. From tight coils to silky waves, from thick locks to naturally straight hair. Black women's hair is a crown of versatility, naturally. Our facial features, just as diverse. Some have high cheekbones and full lips. Others have narrow noses or wide. Regal structures that have been admired for centuries.
Again, what do you think the purpose of her message is? Now, again, she's on this video and she has the nails, the tattoos, the lips, the cleavage showing, again, to sell sex. To sell sex. This is what you're going to find with most Black women. They're going to lead with sexuality. They're not going to lead with virtue. Why? Because they have the Eve spirit. Because they have the Eve spirit. So as she's dropping knowledge, she's also trying to entice with the eyelashes. This is deception. This is witchcraft and sorcery. Eyelashes, the eye makeup, the lipstick, the nails, the cleavage showing. This is all witchcraft. She's trying to push another message. So she's trying to get you to see that you need to bow down to the Black woman. That's what she's saying. If the Black woman has superior genetics, if everybody has to say we come from a Black woman, then that makes the Black woman God. Not a God in a book, not a God in the sky, but an actual living God on the earth is the Black woman. And this type of blasphemy has almost but destroyed Black women, i.e., or in other words, destroyed the Black community.
Scientists discovered that every single human being can trace their maternal ancestry back to one African woman who lived over 150,000 years ago, mitochondrial Eve. That doesn't mean she was the first woman, but she is the common maternal ancestor of everyone alive today. But here's where it gets even deeper. Over time, humans migrated out of Africa. Their DNA mutated and adapted to different climates, leading to the variations we now call races. This means every non-Black person today is simply a genetic branch from the Black woman who started it all. Only Black women carry the full, unbroken mitochondrial DNA link to the very first mother of humanity. Our DNA is powerful. It's why we innovate, adapt, and thrive. This is why Black women continue to set trends, break records, and define culture. The world may change, but one thing stays the same. Black women are the blueprint.
So I'm going to break down what
It's
she
why
just
we're the
said.
first mother of humanity. Our DNA is powerful. It's why we innovate, adapt, and thrive. This is why Black women continue to set trends, break records, and culture. The world may change, but one thing stays the same. Black women are the blueprint.
Again, I told you all that it's propaganda. I told you all that it's propaganda. How does, this is what she's saying. She's saying that Black women's genetics allow them to continue to basically be the best things on the planet. Innovate, create, all this nonsense. 99.9% of what Black women are doing is done in a structured Western society ran by white people. Everything she just named is done in a structured society created by white people. All this innovation and creativity and all this trend setting and all that stuff is done in a society that is created and has been made conducive for Black women to thrive. That society is in Western countries created by white people. Everything she just said, if you go outside of these Western nations, it don't look the same. It doesn't exist. So what she's taking credit for is foolishness. Anyway, today's title is The Eve Died and the Fall of the Black Woman. And this is part one. And what we learned was that Black women, oh, one more thing. Fellas, when you see a woman with a tattoo, ladies, if you have tattoos, you need to go repent for every tattoo that you have. Because each tattoo has a spirit associated to it. It is a ritual to have an emotion and a thought and then go somewhere, spill blood for that emotion and that thought, and then have that engraved or enshrined on your body. That is the literal definition of witchcraft, sorcery, and idol worship. So every tattoo that a person has comes with a spirit, but especially with women. Especially with women, because women are way more emotional. They are way more led by their emotions than men. So if ladies, you have a tattoo, you need to repent to God for every single tattoo that you have. Because I guarantee there's a spirit attached to it, and it's a spirit that you have not dealt with. It is a spirit of rebellion. It is a Jezebel spirit. It is an Eve spirit. There's a bunch of spirits attached to it, and you have not dealt with them. And fellas, if you see a woman and she has tattoos, I want you to ask her why she got her tattoos, write the reasons down, and tell me, is she going to be your wife? You're going to be shocked by the answer. Get a woman and ask her why she got her tattoos and list them, and then ask her, has she dealt with each one of those issues that are getting them tattoos? The answer is going to be no. The answer is going to be no. Those tattoos mean something. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they do. But again, today's title is The Eve Diet and the Fall of the Black Woman. This is part one. And what we learned is that the Eve diet is simply rebellion against God. Listen, I love you all. Thank y'all for keeping the chat lit. And I will see you all on Monday. No, Tuesday. All right, love y'all.